Oh, yeah. How about Shim? Yeah, how Shabbat? Okay. Kwam Yashala. Welcome to the Lions Den. Peace and blessings, everybody. I just wanted to go over some information, what we seldom and rarely talk about. Uh, and basically, as y'all see the title of this, House Negro versus Field Negro, the saga continues. You know what I'm saying? It's hosted by JJ 7000, me. Uh, Kind of just wanted to talk about some stuff that we haven't talked about. These gatekeepers, people that's trying to they look like you and I. All skin ain't kin. All skin color ain't kin. You know what I'm saying? Just because they look like you doesn't mean they're for your best interest. And some of them come on the agenda. But before we get started, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play a song. Then we gonna let me share my screen first. Hold up. Let me see. Hold up. Get back. All right, let me share my screen. It's been a while since I've been under the ones and twos, so just hold on for a second. Present. Let's see. Present. All right, hold up. Share screen. All right, hold up. All right. Share. All right. Let's see. Hold up, y'all. Work with me. Right here. Let's see. Hold up. I want to make a full screen.
Coming back, Christ coming back. When you do, we bring it fire. When you do, we bring it fire. You don't wanna get burned. You don't wanna get burned. Let us side with the right. Let us jump up on the side. Every day we strive hard. Every day we strive hard. To keep the laws and commandments. Keep the laws and commandments. Believe in them. Why you better listen? Or you gon' vanish. Hey, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Tell me what you gonna do. What you gonna do? Better stop playing games, get you some of this truth. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Tell me what you gonna do. What you gonna do? Better stop playing games, get you some of this truth. First thing first, gotta praise the Most High. For giving me His truth in a world full of lies. We all know sin at an all-time high. If you don't plan on repenting, boy, you gon' die. Everybody doing what they wanna do. Tell me who you worship, who you praying to. You gon' hate it, but I gotta say it. It ain't the Most High, your God is Satan. Yeah. Change you don't want to. You in love with that demon that's within you. Yeah. I'ma have to befriend you. Help you out, cause that is what friends do. 2/3 gotta die, though, when you don't wanna be a part of that. Please repent and turn from your wicked ways, and that's all I gotta say, cause Christ coming back. Christ coming back. When you do it, bring it fire. When you do it, bring it fire. You don't wanna get burned. You have to get burned. Let us side with the right. Let us jump up on the side. Every day we strive hard. Every day we strive hard. To keep the laws and commandments. Keep the laws and commandments. You don't keep them up believing. Why you better listen? Or you gon' vanish. Hey, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when it come for you? Tell me what you gonna do. Better stop playing games, get you some of this truth. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when it come for you? Tell me what you gonna do. What you gonna do? Stop playing games, get you some of this truth. What you gonna do when they come for you? Tell me what you gonna do. What you gonna do? Better stop playing games, get you some of this truth. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Tell me what you gonna do. What you gonna do? Better stop playing games, get you some of this truth.
Yeah. What you gonna do? That's Area Yehuda, Hebrew Israelite music. Go check it out. We're gonna start right there. We're gonna start right there, man. Get to the meat and potatoes of this conversation. Welcome to JJ 7000, the People's Champ. Talk live with the champ. You know what I'm saying? This, extension of the line. You know, all right. It's really interesting. Talk about I think it's a good time for Let's see. So let's get Malcolm on here. Fair uses, all that copyright is used for educational purposes. Please be well advised. Let's see. All right. There you go.
Referred to as the house Negro and the field Negro back during slavery. There was two kinds
Come on, man.
of slaves. There was the house Negro and the field Negro. The house Negro, they lived in the house with master. They dressed pretty good. They ate good because they ate his food. But he left. They lived in the attic or the basement, but still they lived near their master. And they loved their master more than the master loved himself. They would give their life to save their master's house quicker than the master would. The house Negro, if the master said, we got a good house here, the house Negro say, yeah, we got a good house here. Whenever the master said we. That's how you can tell a house Negro. If the master's house caught on fire, the house Negro would fight harder to put the blaze out than the master would. If the master got sick, the house Negro would say, what's the matter, boss? We sick. We sick. He identified himself with his master more than his master identified with himself. And if you came to the house Negro and said, let's run away, let's escape, let's separate, that house Negro would look at you and say, man, you crazy. What you mean separate? Where is there a better house than this? Where can I wear better clothes than this? Where can I eat house Negro. In those days, he was called a house nigger. And that's what we call him today, because we still got some house niggers running around here. This modern house Negro loves his master. He wants to live near him. He'll pay 3 times as much as the house is worth just to live near master. And then brag about, I'm the only Negro out here. I'm the only one on my job. I'm the only one in this school. You nothing but a house Negro. And if someone come to you right now and say, let's separate, you say the same thing that the house Negro said on the plantation. What you mean separate? From America? This good white man? Where you gonna get a better job than you get here? I mean, this is what you say. I ain't left nothing in Africa. That's what you say. While you left your mind in Africa. On that same plantation, there was the field Negro. The field Negro, those were the masses. There was always more Negroes in the field than there was Negroes in the house. The Negro in the field caught hell. He ate leftovers. In the house, they ate high up on the wall. Negro in the field leftovers inside of the home. They call them challenge nowadays. In those days, they call them what they were. God. That's what people got you. And some of you all still got you. The field Negro was beat from morning till night. He lived in a shack, in a hut. He wore gas off clothes. He hated it. I say he hated it. Intelligent. That house Negro loved his master. But that field Negro, remember, they were in the majority. And they hated the master. When the house caught on fire, he didn't try to put it out. That field Negro prayed for a wind, for a breeze. When the master got sick, the field Negro prayed that he died. Did someone come to the field Negro and say, let's separate, let's run? He didn't say, where are we going? He said, any place is better than here. You got field Negroes in America today. I'm a field Negro. The masses are the field Negroes. When they see this man's house on fire, you don't hear these little Negroes talking about our government is in trouble. They say the government is in trouble. Imagine a Negro, our government. I even heard one say our astronauts. They won't even let him near the plant. And our astronauts, our Navy, that's a Negro that's out of his mind. That's a Negro that's out of his mind. Just as the slave master in that day used Tom, the house Negro, to keep the field Negroes in check. The same old slave master today has Negroes who are nothing but modern Uncle Toms, 20th century Uncle Toms, to keep you and me in check, keep us under control, keep us passive and peaceful and nonviolent. That's Tom making you nonviolent. It's like when you go to the dentist and the man is going to take your tooth. You're going to fight him when he starts pulling. So they squirt some stuff in your jaw called Novocaine to make you think they're not doing anything to you. So you sit there and because you got all that Novocaine in your jaw, you suffer peacefully. Blood running all down your jaw. And you don't know what's happening. Because someone has taught you to suffer peacefully. The white man do the same thing to you in the street. When he want to put knots on your head and take advantage of you and don't have to be afraid of you fighting back. To keep you from fighting back, he get these old religious Uncle Toms to teach you and me that just like Novocaine, suffer peacefully. Don't stop suffering, just suffer peacefully. As Reverend Cleek pointed out, let your blood flow in the streets. This is a shame.
Move into your dream home with a not-so-dreamy color. You need the power of Serpro painters.
And you know he's a Christian preacher. If it's a shame to him, you know what it is to me. There's nothing in our book, the Quran, as you call it, the Koran, teaches us to suffer peacefully. Our religion teaches us to be intelligent, be peaceful, be courteous, obey the law, respect everyone. But if someone puts his hand on you, send them to the cemetery. That's a good religion. In fact, that's that old-time religion. That's the one that Ma and Pa used to talk about. An eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth, and a head for a head, and a life for a life. That's a good religion. And then anybody, no one resents that kind of religion being taught but a wolf who intends to make you his meal. This is the way it is with the white man in America. He's a wolf, and you are sheep. Anytime a shepherd, a pastor, teach you and me not to run from the white man, and at the same time teach us don't fight the white man, he's a traitor to you and me. Don't lay down our life all by itself. No. Preserve your life. It's the best thing you got. And if you got to give it up, let it be even Steven.
All right, let's get to the so I'm limited on time. As y'all know, y'all kind of get the picture with the great elder Malcolm X is speaking about. This right here is pretty eye-opening. All right, let's check it out.
DukePerspective.com. That's where you can touch base with me and find all the ways to connect and listen to past podcast archives as well as articles. On this podcast, one thing we do is expose secret societies. So my guest, Bishop Larry Gator, is on to tell us about a lesser-known secret society.
So you see when we get to stuff like this now,
may not even know it. Bishop Larry Gator, how you doing about this broadcast?
I am doing great.
Before I get to my
Thank you so much for this special invitation. So excited about the opportunity to have consider this secret society that is very unknown, not just to mainstream America, but surprisingly specifically to Black America. So I'm very excited about this opportunity. I've heard about it, but I didn't know how relevant it
was, and I don't have the details on it, so that's why it's going to be very interesting to hear your connections to this and how you know what you know about them.
why don't you tell listeners first that I heard of you, where you're found. Yes, I also did actually syndicated radio show, radio, through the iHeart Radio Network, the iHeart Media Group. Here in New York City, New York, and also nationally, internationally syndicated through the Life Radio Network at 92.9 FM, 1460 AM, and also 60 AM through the USA Radio Network. So we reach between, on the average, between 20 to 25 million listeners, right, around the world in 150 nations. And they can go to liferadionj.com. liferadionj.com, and we are on every Tuesday and Thursday evening from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
great.
I can't do that.
Now, this secret society, first of all, why don't you tell us
Now, if I watch this, I bet you I play something else, they ain't be doing this.
who they are?
Shit. It's pissing me off, man.
To liferadionj.com, liferadionj.com, and we are on every Tuesday and Thursday evening from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Great. Now, this secret society, first of all, why don't you tell us who they are?
Secret Society of Black Keepers of the Global Sumerian Order. This very scholars, later it increased to 9 white scholars, which are 9, what we call the Black Letter Secret Societies that are responsible, Jim, of the overseeing of what we call the crab barrel system. And to all of your listeners, if they have never heard of this, the crab barrel, Brother Duke, is not just a national system here in the United States of America, but it is a global system where African diaspora, who the masses of Black people who are at the bottom of this pyramid or paradigm, or what we call the crab barrel system, and these 9 Black letter Greek secret societies are the protectors we call the global Luciferian system. Now, if you remember growing up, the teaching of the Knights of the Round.
Oh yeah.
Now that represents the 9 knights, and some scholars that there were as many as 150, but the 9 knights of the Round Table. We're talking about the Rothschilds, the Oppenheimers, the Rockefellers, the Soroses of this world. We're talking about the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Club of Rome, the Committee of 300, the Hidden Hand. So then these 9 Black letter Greek societies are not elected, but they are selected by the global elite to protect and oversee the affairs of the global Luciferian system. So then back on the month of 1904, specifically May the 15th, 1904, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is the same city that Kobe Bryant grew up in. All right. It was also the same city a few weeks ago that LeBron James was also a part of the Boule. Listeners, if they get an opportunity, just type in LeBron James tattoo or Boule tattoo, that is tattoo on the chest. So going back to the into what I call the origination. It started on May the 15th, 1904, in the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And like I said a few seconds ago, that's the city that LeBron James passed Kobe Bryant to be 3rd on the all-time scoring list. I'm going to come on. Yes, it's all interconnected. So then the 9 scholars, Dr. Henry McKee Minton, Dr. Algernon B. Jackson, Dr. Eugene T. Henson, Dr. Edwin C. Howard, right? Dr. Robert J. Aberley, right? Who is part of this Divine 9, Dr. Julian Aberley, who was an architect who actually built Duke University. Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois. Now, Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois is so revered in the annals of Black history, but he was a sellout because Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois was approached in 1829 by a woman by the name of Margaret Sanger.
Yeah.
Of Parenthood. Now, I'll go back to that later on, where Dr. Bois was instrumental of providing a racist, a woman by the name of Margaret Sanger, who had also was financially connected to the Rockefeller Foundation, to the DuPonts, and also to the Kellogg family of the Kellogg Corporation in Michigan, who thousands of dollars in 1929 to Margaret Sanger through Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois to create the first abortion clinic in Black America in February of 1929 in Harlem, New York. So we, like I said, Dr. Julian Abley, the brother of one of the first Divine Nine who created Abley. Dr. Julian Abley built the schematical structure we see today as Duke University. In the ninth person, who was one of the progenitors of the founding founders of the Boule, was a man by the name of Dr. John Taylor. Now, Dr. John Taylor was an athlete, okay? And he was the father of Boule Secret Society that is now a part of the sports and entertainment complex. So the Boules were designed, Brother Duke, not to less to provide financial assistance, a spirit foundation of the society was designed to protect the system, the same system that has enslaved and enslaved by people for 430 years. Now, mind you, I am not a teacher that teaches victimhood. I am a black conservative, right? I am a black Republican. I am an ardent supporter of heretic community. Oh man, I want to talk about this because I am on call right now. And the term simply means they are the guardians of the they also means comes from the GRIFFEN, which means a guard. That's absolutely NBC throughout the images. It was just like it through a logo. Absolutely. It's version it's like that. The communities of Bethlehem. Yes. Wow. It's for who they, the term who they, not only means but according to Greek inversion methodology, the Boule was the first son/daughter of Alphabet. Oh, this is heavy. So the Boule is the son of the spiritual offspring of Alphabet. Is designed to protect Alphabet through education, through medicine, through the prison industrial complex, through the sports and entertainment industry, through the political realm in Washington, D.C. So then the Boule Secret Society, that logo is also interconnected to free conspiracy of not just the Scottish Rite, absolutely, but they are Prince Hall Masons. Allow me to say that again, man of God. The Boule Secret Society are Prince Hall Masons.
I was going to ask you that. Okay, so they are associated with Prince Hall.
Yes, every one of them are 32nd and 33rd degree Masons. But no black person, male or female, is allowed to be a 33rd and 1/2 degree. That is only designed for non-black people. And if I got time today, I would definitely go back to that. So then the Boule Secret Society, who are the offspring of Baphomet, the Boules youngest brother or younger brother is called the Skulls and Bones. Okay, let me say this. This is heavy. So the Skulls and Bones that was created before the Boule, but according to Greek mythology, the Skulls and Bones is the younger brother of the Boule, which the Boule is tasked by the system of Baphomet to protect not only Baphomet, but the younger brother of the Boule, the Skulls and Bones. Because Black people, because of segregation, Brother Duke, were prohibited to join the Skulls and Bones Secret Society out of Yale University.
Right.
So then the Boule logo, a half a man, half a woman, has its right hand on what we call an urn, okay? Capital URN, which they keep the ashes of dead people. That is a sign, as we're breaking down the Boule Secret Society, of the Black gatekeepers of the global Luciferian order today. So that right hand on an urn, inside of that represents the ashes of the Black diaspora. So in other words, they're keeping the masses in a state of mental and psychological death so that they can be, the Boules can be the protectors of the crab barrel. You see, so then people like Barack Obama, Michael Obama, people like Reverend Al, Jesse Jackson, they are chosen, not elected, they are selected to oversee the affairs of the Black diaspora, not just here in the United States, but all over the world. They are in charge to keep the masses of Black Americans in check. So if one tries to crawl out of the barrel, you see, they would definitely be put back in the barrel. So the question is, are the barrel owners? The barrel owners are the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Abrahams, the Walkers, okay, the Walker family today, who their history goes back to the creation of the Federal Reserve in 1913. This is heavy. So then the Boule Secret Society, they are the watchdog. And I hate to say it, they are portrayed as the pit bull to protect the house of Baphomet called the Global Luciferian Illuminati System. Now, only a few at the top can become members of what we call Phi Beta Kappa and Kappa Beta Phi. Phi Beta Kappa is a Zionist created entity. They represent the educational system of the Boule. That's Phi Beta Kappa. But Kappa Beta Phi, which is also an extension of the Boule and a Zionist entity that was founded in 1776. Kappa Beta Phi represents the Wall Street faction of the Boule that's connected to the father of the Boule, Baphomet. So this is as we break this down in such a particular way. So they're born in 1904. So they come here in 18 and 8 other associates. They merge what we call the Hellenic Divine Doctrine. There are 9 Greek Black secret societies that were birthed by the original 9 members of the Black Boule Secret Society, born in May 15, 1904, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's Alpha Phi Alpha in 1906. That's Kappa Alpha Psi in 1911. That's Omega Psi Phi in 1911. That's Phi Sigma Theta in 1913. That's Zeta Phi Beta in 1920. And last, the Sigma Gamma Rho Secret Society in 1922. So each of these 9 Black Greek letter secret societies, Brother Jim, are birthed from the original 9 fathers of the Boule Secret Society, who are designed by the global elite to protect the Knights of the Round Table. Each Boule is designed, all right, and tasked by the system to protect a Rothschild Knight, a Rockefeller Knight, a Warburg Knight, a Oppenheimer Knight, okay, a George Soros Knight. Each Knight has a great system, whether that play is from the legal system, whether that play is from the sports and entertainment system, whether that play is from the medical and the educational system. So that darkness is so sophisticated, my friend. So that as we continue to teach about the society, they are the gatekeepers of the people of the Illuminati system. It's interesting, that the term the way also means they are the advisors to the king. The king is the global system of management. Now, the term way also goes back to the Greek governmental structure, going back to Aristotle, going back to Plato and Socrates. So the Boule's systems, going back to time of these great philosophers, presented the lower level, the bottom level. Now I want you to catch it, the bottom level, not the top level, but the bottom level of the Greek government today is tasked to be the guards, the caretakers of the order. They are not allowed to know the secrets of the order. This is the reason why Kobe Bryant was assassinated. I'm going to come back to you, okay? Because the more money that a black person gets in Hollywood, there is another level of an initiation process that he or she must go by. And I believe that Kobe Bryant did was because he was refusing, okay? I'm going to say the term that's unknown in white America. It's known as black. And that term at the is at one point is a part of the initiation process for each man and woman. They must be broken. Now that term goes back to the 1600s, where during the time of slavery, there was a slave owner by the name of Willie Lynch. And this is where we get the term Lynch. So he's also the father of Lynchburg, Virginia. So Willie Lynch created, okay, the art of buck breaking to strip down a male or female slave, tie them down chest first to the ground, and the slave master, the system or Baphomet, will sexually molest that man or woman and thereby make them a boule. So that's the initiation process.
See, I know about that, but I didn't know the name. And okay.
So then, to get into one of these divine black letter Greek secret societies, and even Kappa Beta 5 and Phi Beta Kappa, every person has to be sexually initiated, a man having sex with a man inside of a coffin, and a woman having sex with a woman inside of a coffin. Why? Because they had to be buck broken in order for Baphomet to control them. So Kobe Bryant did not want to be buck broken anymore. I'll come back to Kobe in a minute.
Now, is this why some in the black community are talking about? I refuse to wear the dress.
Yes.
They're dressed up as a woman, and they're made to do that, whether in mockery or whatever. I had a friend that just a Facebook friend that he's unfortunately going back to the industry to feed his family, and he says, "But don't worry, I won't wear the dress."
Exactly. You see, man of God, this is the reason why many in Black Hollywood, they are involved in dark arts. Mm-hmm. They're involved in what we call spirit cooking. Okay.
Yeah.
Where they are connected like Jay-Z or Gay-Z and his witch of a Beyonce. They're connected to this woman called Maria Abramovich.
Marina Abramovic. Do you know where she lives?
I believe in Los Angeles, but also she's got homes all throughout the year. Her house several times. I know that. Yeah, she has a country home here in Columbia County, 20 miles from me, probably like a half an hour from me. I've been by on Route 66. Look at that. Now, the last time when I first revealed this, I had my car window smashed in. I was wondering if it was associated with it. I did. So yes, so you can take me to the next episode. The plays have to be sexually initiated into the order in order to protect people. They have to be initiated in the order in order to protect the order. This goes back during the time of the prophet Moses in the book of the Exodus. Now, if people understand that time during the prophet Moses in the book of Exodus, right, and we're talking about going back anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 years, if any Egyptian wanted to see Pharaoh, wanted to have access to the system of Pharaoh or Baphomet, a man would have to have sex with the local magician, or a woman would have to have sex with the local female magician. Why? Because that was the spiritual price to get access to power. So the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So the book ladies, they'll only go back to 1904. But the very schematical structure of the book goes back thousands of years. Now, let's dissect this big secret society. They are the black groups of the Luciferian system. Okay? It's very common. It is every way. He's a part of Omega Psi Phi. The reason why they have not assassinated him because he is a part of the system. The Gregory was in the way of Alpha Phi Alpha. There was a book called The Divine Nine. Okay? The National Pan-Hellenic Council, right? The History of Sigma Pi Phi by Dr. Charles H. Wesley, which is a very expensive book. And that's interesting. Anything that's true, they jack up the price. So then Dr. Charles Wesley, his book of the History of Sigma Pi Phi. So Boule also means Sigma Pi Phi. Okay. Now, numerically, according to the Jewish gematria, the term Sigma Pi Phi has a numerical sequence of 666.
Oh, no
now,
way.
Yes.
The Kabbalah. Okay.
Yes, they are heavily connected.
Why does it always go back to that?
System.
Why does it always? It goes back to all this
Kabbalah, especially. It always comes up because when people talk about the Kabbalistic system, it's Jewish mysticism, but it's also Khazarian mysticism. Now, what I have to say, I am not anti-Semitic, okay? And as we are dissecting the late secret society, the black people of the Luciferian system, every Hebrew is a Jew of every Jew Jews by religion,
Yes.
but they're not Hebrew by birth.
Right.
Why? Because the Jews today are of Khazarian Turkish blood who overtook the Hebrews. Okay? We're talking about going back to between the book of Malachi and the book of St. Matthew, which we call the silent 400 years, where the Khazarians plundered Jerusalem, overtook the system of the true Jews, who were people of color. Now, I'm not making this a black and white thing. So then the Kabbalistical teachings are interconnected to Prince Hall Masonry, which is connected to the Divine Nine of the Pan-Hellenic Council, who are overseen, my friend, by the Boule Secret Society. So then the Boules are the architects of what I call chaos theory. In other words, they create chaos in order to bring about in order to the order of their masters, the Baphomet.
All right, so
yeah.
chaos magic, that's part of them?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so order out of chaos, that's attributed to the Freemasons, but that's what they uphold?
That's what they uphold. It's order out of chaos. That they represent, and I'm not comparing black people to animals, but according through the eyes of the system, the what I call the talented 10, that's a term that was given by John D. Rockefeller to W.E.B. Du Bois, that I'm going to hire you to recruit 1 out of 10 African American scholars that will protect me in the system from being exposed. But you're going to do this through chaos theory and chaos magic.
Wow.
In other words, through chaos, it brings about in order. So we call chaos here in order to cover up something over here. Then we cause chaos there to cover something over what's going on in China. So it's, in other words, the Boule Secret Society, man of God, this is heavy. They are masters of what we call chaos theory, or what they call, in other words, they are masters that create chaos and catastrophe in order to bring about a reaction from black people. See, they know black people are going to react in such a way that they would be beholden to the system. So, man of God, you're exactly right. They are a part of the chaos magic. They are a part of what we call the chaos theory. In other words, they use chaos. They use assassination, like Kobe Bryant. They use assassination, like Ron Brown. Remember Ron Brown back in 1996?
Yeah.
The part of the Clinton administration. His plane went down in Croatia, right? And they found his skull, and there was a bullet hole in his skull. In other words, when Baphomet no longer needs you, you would be sacrificed.
Absolutely.
This is what we call satanic sacrifice. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, brother.
That's great. Now it seems that it's a deliberate suppression of the black community to arise in them a false pride and a false empowerment.
They bring about what we call black liberation theology. Right. Yet black liberation theology is not rooted in the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. Black liberation theology is rooted in the Soviet Union. And this is going back to the late 1930s, right? I was on another show a couple of weeks ago where I dissected that black liberation theology was a creation bring about liberation theology amongst the society of the Jesuits. So Black Jesuits and Latino Jesuits are the proponents of both liberation, Black liberation theology, to bring about a state of chaos theory in the Black diaspora. So in other words, you hit a nerve with me, man of God, what you just said. It is to bring a reactionary thought to Black people. In other words, it's boulets that create pain. And not to get off course here, well, you got me excited today. Now, remember back in 2012, the murder of Trayvon Martin, or the death of Trayvon Martin. His family was represented by a firm, okay, of boulets, okay? Benjamin Crump, the high-ranking boulet. Benjamin Crump, all right, in his law firm are boulet attorneys that were assigned the system of Baphomet, not to bring justice or the truth concerning the death of Trayvon Martin, but to give birth to the seed of confusion.
Yes.
That would give rise to anger in Black people, bring about a psyop of ignorance. And I'm not calling Black people ignorance here today, where I feel the anointing. So then, Benjamin Crump is a boulet. Jesse Jackson and Louis Farrakhan, and LeBron James. Kobe Bryant was not only a boulet, but Kobe was a part of the Phi Lima Secret Society and the Theosophical Secret Society of Aleister Crowley.
He was, huh?
Yes.
I just did a show on that last week about theosophy. Oh my gosh.
Yes. In other words, Kobe Bryant tapped into what we call the dark arts. Okay, when his moniker was Black Mamba. So the Black Mamba is a high-level creature, okay, in the dark seeker societies within Baphomet. And often Kobe Bryant would use these words muse or muse cage. He talks about there's light muse cage and dark muse cage. Well, the term muse is a name of a demon in both Greek and Roman demonology. Kobe Bryant knew this. And so this is the reason why they took him out for two reasons. Not to get away from the history and the origins of the Black Boule Secret Society. When you read some of Kobe's books, okay, again, he was not allowed to reveal the secrets of the Boule that were birthed into the Boule by their father, Baphomet. Now, it's interesting that one of his books is called the Wise Nard series. Now, there is a term nard in the Bible is called spike nard. Spike means the anointing. Nard means a thicker or more powerful insight of the anointing. That's from Christ. But anything that God has, man of God, the devil has a counterfeit. But wise nard means, wise in Persian means war. Nard means lock, to lock in. This is where we get the term warlock. So a warlock is a male witch, and a female witch is a male warlock. That goes back to the insignia of the Black Boule Secret Society. Half male, half female. The transgender agenda.
And the principle
of contract duality. Oh my God. It's a divine unity. You take the two diverse contrasts that blue, black, white, good, evil, night, dark, white, all the contrasts, you bring them together, you use together the contrast and form a unity. It's the unity of duality. high energy. That's it. And what you just said, it really as we talk about the Black Greek society. Now, I believe, that one of the reasons why that not just Paul Mahler and Philip Jackson and all of these elites in KC are a part of this, they knew that
Kobe Bryant was to be sacrificed on the 26th of January 2016. Now, the day before, LeBron James breaks Kobe's record. He passes Kobe on the third all-time list. And to your listeners, I'm going to give a new series, on how source the truth with host Jason Goodman. And this Tuesday, I'm going to be teaching a three-part series. I'm going to do this with you, man of God, entitled Kobe Bryant, all right? The Luciferian Project Complete. So one of his books, not just the Wine Star series, his other book is called E-Poca, capital E-P-O-C-A, The Tree of E-Pog, capital E-C-R-O-F. Now, he wrote this book with the help of a high-ranking witch by the name of Ivy Clear. See, Kobe was this dark, deep stuff man, and that he was not supposed to reveal. So the term E-Poca, if you start backwards from right to left, because Hebrew is written from right to left, then you get the word Kobe, or Kobe, with the E sound, capital A-C-O-P-E. Now, it's interesting, man of God, there is a secret society by the name of a Kobe. It is a feminine secret society. Yes, from Latin America. And this gets really deep here. And so it's very interesting that Opoka also means epic. So what Kobe is doing, he is revealing dark arts that he's not supposed to be revealing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, he's revealing dark arts that he is not commissioned to reveal. So then, as we continue concerning Kobe's book, this Epoca, now Ecroft, spelled backwards, reveals the word force. So these Apoca, or Apopi, capital A-C-O-P-E, is a female lesbian secret society out of Latin America.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So why is Kobe revealing this? He's revealing this because he wants to be on the level of a billionaire. And let me explain that. You see, in Black Hollywood, in order for a Black person to be on that level, to go from millionaire to billionaire, they have to give up something, a sacrifice, whether it's a wife or a child or a mother. Kobe Bryant was unable to do that. Okay? So we have to understand that this is decrypting a high level state of the dark arts, what Kobe Bryant is revealing. And he's not sanctioned by the system of alphabet in Hollywood to reveal that. He reveals that anyway, not just in the Wine Star series, but he reveals this pedagogue in the series of this Epoca, which that is a Kobe, high-ranking society out of Latin America. Why Latin America? Because Kobe's wife is Latin American. She's Spanish. So then, as we connect these dots, so this Opoca, or Acope, capital A-C-O-P-E, okay, reveals the dark arts of how a child can tap into what they call the consciousness of the mind of Lucifer. Now, when we look at the term Lucifer, or I didn't mean to go down this road, but you're tapping some spiritual nerves in me, man of God. So when we say Lucifer or Lucifer, it means to decipher. And this is what the Boulaists do. They decipher darkness. They are the protectors of darkness. Lucifer or Lucifer, who is also Epocha or Epic, that's a high-level warlock that allows children to tap into the darkness that goes back to Genesis chapter 6, where the Nephilims injected their seed of darkness, which opens portals for the children of men to tap into Epocha, or these Okape, okay, which is a secret society of female Latino women. This is going back to the 1800s.
Oh, brother, you're going deep now.
Oh my God, man of God. You know what? Again, this is so heavy here. So when God was revealing this to me, and I gotta say this, man of God, it startled me because it's on another level that I never seen before. So my question is, as we're talking about the Boule Black Secret Society, the gatekeepers, right? The gatekeepers of the order. Why is Kobe Bryant revealing the dark arts of Epocha? Because now he is resisting against the system. He's warned now, okay? Then he writes another book called The Legacy and the Queen, okay? And that is shaped like the womb of a woman. Now, The Legacy and the Queen is a teaching that goes back to Genesis 6, okay? The Nephilim blood injects into the daughters of men. How does Kobe know this? Because he was a part of the Theosophical Society, the Thelema Secret Society, and he was a high-ranking 33rd degree Mason. So he was not allowed to reveal the secrets of the Wisnard series, the Epocha, the Tree of Ecroft, or the Tree of Force. This is where we get the term, may the force be with you. Or may the cognitive mind of Lucifer be with you. And he also writes about Legacy Queen. So then, his nickname is the Black Mamba. Now, his insignia of a part of his corporation is of the Mamba Academy, okay? The Mamba Academy's logo is the capital M, all right, with a circle of a serpent going around the letter M, chewing on its own tail.
Oh, the Ouroboros.
Yeah.
So what Kobe is saying, he is revealing a high-ranking demonic source of his cage with its light and to illuminate. This is where we get the term mental, the angel side, and also the dark parts of his cage from the darkness, so that the more money one makes, the deeper of the darkness that they must be initiated in. This is the reason, partly another reason why I didn't get out into this family situation. Oh, this is good. Oh man, so the other reason why Kobe died, he had multiple lawsuits against some of the biggest pharmaceutical companies on this planet. Now, there was a pharmaceutical company by the name of the High Tech Pharmaceuticals. They're out of Amityville, New York, on Long Island. So then Kobe was saying that they took his moniker, the name Black Mamba, okay? That they took the term or the moniker Black Mamba, all right? But that was not the only reason why that Kobe was suing high-tech pharmaceuticals. Now, the question is, who owns high-tech pharmaceuticals? A company by the name of the Acorn Incorporated, capital Akorn. Now, the Acorn Incorporated is also out of New York, but they are owned by a billionaire by the name of John Kapoor, capital Kappoor. Now, John Kapoor is heavily connected, man, to the Central Intelligence Agency, to MI6, and to the Israeli Mossad.
Oh boy.
See, it gets deeper, man of God. So notice, Kobe Bryant is a high-ranking Goulet, a part of the Theosophical Society and the Thelema Secret Society, where now his spirit, the spirit of Kobe Bryant, was open like a womb, right? The legacy of the queen, in order for the snake, the python, Black Mama, to enter into him in order for that entity to be a part of his personality.
I just pulled up an article, the NBA. Okay, listen to this.
Yes.
It says the purpose of becoming, this is Kobe's, this is a statement about Kobe. The purpose of becoming Black Mamba was for Bryant to have an alter ego. It was a chance to become an assassin on the court.
Oh my God. Can you repeat that again?
This is in the NBA from CBS, I guess it is. The purpose of becoming the Black
Mamba was for Bryant to have an alter ego. Just what you just said. I just read it as you said it. It was a chance for Bryant to become an assassin on the court. See, in other words, the natural nature of a black python. You see, the Black Mamba is a python. So the term, this is where we get the term divination. Because in Acts 16:16, when St. Paul was faced against a witch, right? She was part warlock and part witch, okay? According to Josephus, the New Testament historian, that in Acts 16:16, St. Paul had noticed the entity called Black Mamba or divination. So the term python or Pythion, and it was a secret society during the time of St. Paul the Apostle, called the Pythoness, Pythoness. So then the Pythoness are connected today to Beyonce. The first three letters of Beyonce is Bey, capital B-E-Y, which is also one of the names of the female goddesses in Greek mythology and demonology, going back to Acts 16:16. So that term, divination, the first four letters reveal the word divi, from whence we get the term diva. And to the women out there who are listening, stop calling yourself diva. Diva, divination, divination, that is rooted in witchcraft and warlockism. That was the entity, the same entity that was in her was in Kobe, to bring about an altered state of what they call telekinesis. Okay? In other words, he allowed a high-ranking principality to overtake his personality, to be power and influence. So then, all these factors introduce the word evil, okay? Have an E-K-O-B, which is a Bryant's original real personality was extracted from the personality that was not only in that woman in the scene, but was also connected to Ebok, a high-ranking principality in Chinese mythology and demonology. So one of the languages that Kobe knew was Mandarin, a dialect of Chinese. So then Kobe Bryant was not just an ordinary jock. He knew the dark arts. He was a 33rd degree Mason. And he was forbidden, my friend, to reveal the dark arts of the global Luciferian system. So, and can you do me a favor? And I'm getting a lot of emails coming in. And can you reveal what you just revealed a few minutes ago, Kobe's altered state and his personality? Because you're blowing people's minds. Can you reveal that link again, man of God, or that information?
Yeah, let me. I just came off of it. Let's see. I'd have to find it. Hold on a second.
Okay, I will.
I actually just typed in Black Mamba, and that article came up.
Wow.
Let me see what it says here.
And so as you're finding, and again, and thank you to all of your listeners. A lot of our listeners are just so blown away by what you just said a couple of minutes ago. So then, as we talk about the Boule Seeker Society, the black gatekeepers of the global Luciferian system, they are of the order, okay? In other words, they're also the protectors, okay, of the what we call the Unum Sanctum, capital UNAM Sanctum, capital SANCTUM, that's connected to the Vatican. And that's another topic for another day. This goes so high, man of God. So then they are also given, each Boule is also given a name of a demon in Greek demonology and mythology. So the moniker name that Kobe was given was Bamba, but he was also given the word Thoth, THOTH.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So he was teaching his children the philosophy of thought. In other words, to tap into the muse cage. Now, muse cage means that the demon of altered states or telekinesis is caged within the cage of the mind of that person that's trying to tap into that cage. This is heavy, man. I never intended to go down this route, but what you, I thank God for you, man.
I got the quote. Oh, yeah. It says, well, first of all, Bryant says the length, the snake, the bite, the strike, the temperament. Let me look into this. Let me look this up. And I looked it up, and yeah, that's me. Then it says the purpose of becoming the Black Mamba was for Bryant to have an alter ego. It was for Bryant to become an assassin on the court. I had to separate myself, Kobe said. I felt like there was too many things coming. I was becoming confused. I had to organize things and create the Black Mamba.
Oh my God. In other words, he became the Black Mamba.
Just like Beyonce became Sasha Fierce.
Oh my God. Look at that. You see, this is what happens to, not just to Black Hollywood, any person wanting to gain that type of dimensionality, they have to sacrifice something. So then with Kobe being in this juxtaposed position, number one, he's revealing the dark arts through his books, right? The Wise Nard series, all right? The series of Apocrypha. He's not supposed to be revealing the Wise Nard series. Then the Epoca, the tree of Ekrof, or the counterfeit tree of life. You see, as Christ is the true tree of life, there's a counterfeit tree of life that is Lucifer. Now, Lucifer, his acronym, and this is connected to the Boule, What is the first letter of Lucifer? L. What is the first letter of Satan? S. What is the first letter of double D? There's your LSD. So LSD that was created by the Central Intelligence Agency, not to get away from Boule, right, in 1953, a Zionist by the name of Sidney Gottlieb created the chemical compound of what we call LSD. Lucifer, Satan, and devilish. So that's the acronym for LSD. It goes back to Lucifer, Satan, devil. So then Kobe taps into the personality of the throne of darkness. Oh my God, let me say this again. Kobe tapped into the personality of the throne of darkness. And because of that, he was left unprotected by the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that we serve, the Lord Jesus Christ. So to all of Americans who are listening to this broadcast and those around the world, you have to be careful about becoming, because anytime you tap into that $1 million, $1 billion club, okay, there is a price that one has to pay. So not only is he the black mamba in thought, but according to the Pythagorean philosophy, and matter of fact, Kobe knew the doctrine of the Pythagoreans. He knew about the psychology of Osiris. Okay, so then Kobe Bryant, or Enoch, becomes weaponized through darkness. And this is the reason why that the global elite knew that he had to die. Let me say this again. There is a virus that's going around the world, not to get away from the Boule Secret Society, but the term, the coronavirus. And I don't mean to get into that, man of God, but I'm just being led of the Lord, really, to get into that phase of what is happening in the world today. So we talk about the term coronavirus, and to everyone, keep a mental paperclip on the Black Secret Society of the Boules, who are the gatekeepers of the global Luciferian order. Now, the term coronavirus, or the coronavirus, coronas means chronology, okay? We talk about chronology. Now, according to Greek mythology and demonology, there is a high-ranking warlock called Cronus, capital C-H-R-O-N-O-S. This is where we get the term chronology or timeology. And so Kobe is connected to the god Cronus, who was part serpent, part man. He was a part of the Greek Hellenic secret society, who was part human and part serpent. I want you to get this, man, because I did not mean to go down this route, and I apologize to you. But you.
Oh, don't apologize. This is going someplace.
Oh, exactly. So the excuse me about this. So the Cronus virus is not by accident, man of God. So then, Kobe Bryant's anatomy, his blood, had been contaminated through the knowledge of the dark arts, through his books, Wisnard, Epocha, and Queen. You have to interconnect all three books. Wisnard is the power structure of Epocha, okay, of the force of the tree, which is the legacy of the Queen. She is tired. How old was she when she died? 13. So as we go back to the year 2013, Kobe was asked by a high-ranking scientist, a man from the name of Jeffrey Feinberg, who is a multi-millionaire in Los Angeles, heavily connected to George Soros. He was the financial protege of George Soros, Jeffrey Feinberg. And Jeffrey Feinberg has given billions of dollars to the National Basketball Association for different charities. 2013, that was 13 degrees of the Illuminati Masonic Order. 13 levels of the pyramid going up to the all-seeing eye of Ra or Ptah. So going back to 2013, Kobe was asked by Jeffrey Feinberg to attend his son, Michael Feinberg's 13th birthday. All right, to go to be a witness of a bar mitzvah. Kobe declined. Kobe sent one of his teammates, okay, to the 13th, the age of 13 for the son of Jeffrey Feinberg, Michael Feinberg. Now, Jeffrey Feinberg is connected to George Soros in the Soros financial empire here in New York City. So Kobe rejects the invitation, okay, and sends one of his teams, okay? So he sends one of his teams. So then when Gigi turns 13, you see, everything's by number, man.
Absolutely. Numerology, magic, rituals.
Oh, my God. Absolutely.
We talk about it all the time. Yep.
Oh, my God. The dark arts, Theosophical Secret Society. We're talking about the Boule, the Thelema Secret Society. We talk about the dark arts, okay? We talk about Prince Hall Masons, which Kobe was. We talked about Pythagorean darkness, all right? Osiris. All of these dark arts going back to Kobe Bryant.
And you made a link to his Latin wife. Was she part of Santeria, probably?
She was, yeah, her entire parents were a part of Santeria, which is actually one of the most powerful Spanish Latino secret societies on this planet. She was heavily involved in that. Okay. And so at the time in 2000, Kobe was actually engaged to an African American girl, but was instructed to leave her for Vanessa. So their wives are chosen, men of God, or their husbands are chosen. Yep. And I don't mean to go all over the map, but I'm trying to connect everything back to the Boule Secret Society. So then Kobe Bryant was in a high level of what we call the dark arts. Now, a part of not what we call, what is China is experiencing, okay, the coronavirus. Now, when we talk about the coronavirus, which is so demonic, man of God, I did some studies in preparing for you today. When we connect the term coronavirus, it's actually a Romanian word, okay? And this Romanian word is Cora, capital C-O-R-O, then the word nin, capital N-E-N. Now, coronin means to inject in order to cripple. Oh my God. So it means injection in order to cripple, to ruin, or it also means plague. And so then the coronavirus is actually a creation, okay? Whether it's from the CIA, whether it's from MI6, whether it is from Israeli Mossad, or even Chinese intelligence. For what? To destabilize China at a deeper level. So this term coronavirus, okay? Now, the term here, virus, also means in vitro, capital I-N-V-I-T-R-O. Now, if we take the word in vitro and spell that backwards, we're still talking about the Boule Secret Society. In vitro reveals the name of another Greek god in Greek mythology, okay? Ortini, Ortini with the I silent, capital O-R-T-I-V-N-I, which means chaos that brings disease or the odor of disease. So these demons at a high level of the Alphabet Secret Society create biological warfare, and they name these viruses after the names of historical demons. You know, America, 99% of the medications that people take around the world are named after some type of demon in some type of mythology. I kid you not. Yes. So then, we can take the word Prozac. Okay, that's a name of a high-ranking demon in Roman and Persian mythology. That's another topic for another day. So this coronavirus, cobra, then means to inject, to cripple, or to ruin. Okay, so corona is more interesting. It is powerful. I think God believe that because you are tapping me to go into another level in the Lord Jesus Christ as we're exposing darkness. Now, somebody may say, Bishop, listen, coronavirus, I get it. Now, I'm getting emails now. How is the coronavirus connected to both the Vatican and the Boule?
I got it right here. I got one portion right here. I just looked up corona in the dictionary, and it says the upper portion of the body part referring to the skull and the tooth. Scones.
Skull and bones. Oh my God. And the term, and we look at the term Vatican and spell it backwards from right to left because Hebrew is written from right to left. Then we get a Khazarian word, Nasitav, capital Naci, then Tav, capital Tav. Now, Nasi, capital Naci, is a very powerful interpretation, my friend. Nisi means I was born, and Tav, T-A-V, which is the 22nd letter of the Hebrew alphabet, Tav means the now. So I was born for the now. I am born for this present. In other words, so then the Vatican, the very word of the Vatican spelled backwards. And why do I spell words backwards? Because the truth is encoded within words. So the Vatican spelled backwards.
And Satanism, just so people refer to, Satanism often does backwards masking by putting words and referring to another term backwards. So they use the reversal.
The reversal is inversion.
Right.
And my God, and not only does it mean Nicey, I was born top of this time, but also Nazi also means I was born. And Tom means science and technology. Wait a minute now. So the Vatican spelled backwards means I was born in science and technology, the coronavirus. So as we connect the alphabet, part of the Vatican, and the coronavirus. See, and I'm not bashing the Catholic Church. Let me just make a reference here to the Catholic militants, the Jesuits. The Jesuits are the Knights of Malta. The Jesuits were known to be assassins. And how did they assassinate? They used poison. This is sorcery. And so you have the viruses, which is putting toxins, is sorcery, and that's associated with the Jesuits' tactic. So that could be connected. Oh my God! What you just and again, when we study about the Jesuit secret society, like going back to 1540, Ignatius of Loyola. Okay, this is where we get the name of the University of Los Angeles, Royal Marymount. Ignatius was a high-ranking Mason. He was one of the 7 founding fathers of the Jesuits. So every component of both liberation theology and Black liberation theology are Jesuits, a part of the order. So the Bouleys, who are not just in education and science, politics, and the sports and industry complex, they are designed and assigned to protect the system, the same system that enslaved them for 430 years. So this Vatican, and not to get off topic, that somebody may say, well, what does the Vatican have to do with delay in the coronavirus? So Vatican spelled backwards, Nasi, I was born, Ta, science and technology. And so, and one day I want to come back on the show, man of God, to talk about the Unum Sanctum back in 1302 through Pope Boniface VIII, where he created the what we call the birth certificate. And every number on every birth certificate, it means that you and I who were born, okay, when our mothers and fathers signed that birth certificate, our soul was assigned and certified as a bill of lading and an invoice to the Vatican system.
Yes.
Oh my, that's another level altogether. And you and I are free in the blood, through the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ. So every child, this is going back to the Boulets protect the entire Luciferian system. Every child that is born is issued a birth certificate. That's Unum Sanctum in 1302, where Pope Boniface VIII said that every birth certificate or certification, in the term certification also means ta, not just T-A-V in Hebrew, but T-A-U, okay, in the Khazarian Turkish interpretation of what we call Unum Sanctum, or what we call Natal or Vatican, spelled backwards. Another interpretation for Vatican is in the Latin word Vaticanus, which means angel. I don't want to get into that. This is deep darkness, man of God. So then the coronavirus, all right, all of the dark arts, going back to COVID, going back to the Blue Lake Secret Society, it's all protected by the global Luciferian system. So then, as we go back to the Blue Lake, and I do apologize, man of God, for getting really deeper in COVID and the coronavirus. No, I don't apologize. Oh my God, this is so heavy because it interconnects. Now, the Blue Lake Secret Society, they protect the 1% of the 9 knights of the round table, the 9 members of the 13 families that control 99% of the world's wealth. They control 99% of the world's wealth. So then, Boulets protect the 1% while they keep the 99% in check. Let me say this again. The Boulets protect the 1%, and they protect the 1% by keeping in check the 99%. They're not just black people, Brother Jim, but all ethnicities around the world. They are the watchdog. They are the guardians. Why do they say this? They get fame. They get the scraps from the table. All the knights of the round table. They don't get the meat. They get the scraps. How's the bargain soul for soul? Power, popularity, status. That's what it is. They sold their soul, right? For powerful, for financial influence. Will Smith, all of them had to go through this sexual initiation, right? Even the rap game. Every rapper, I had a visit a rapper friend of mine who is now a Christian here in New York City. He said that Bishop, every rapper has to be fucking broken. I've heard that, yes. Yes, they have to go through this sexual initiation, right, where it is videotaped so that they, so that government can have a foot over them, right? That's it. So the rappers 56, all this is 56, who they're living penny. I don't care if ones that are chosen to oversee the barrel, the Obamas, are Eric Holder, Jay-Z, Beyonce, LeBron James, right? Jesse Jackson. They are the protectors of not just the barrel, but they protect the masters of who are the barrel owners.
Now, you remember Jay-Z had that, they kind of put him in check because he was bragging that he was of the Illuminati. And by the way, he's an Aleister Crowleyan, has do as thou wilt on his shirt. He had access, I guess, unlimited access to the White House, and was bragging about his status.
You see, and again, he is a sublet boule. In other words, a sublet Illuminati person. He's only the dog on the chain that protects the house. The house is out for him. Jay-Z, he was a token on here. Michael Jordan doesn't own the Charlotte Hornets. He is just the face, okay, of the Charlotte Hornets. Black people don't own anything. You got a lot of these R&B Instagram magazines, a double XL and Source and Five. Black people don't own those magazines. The scientists own those magazines. In other words, the masters of the trad barrel in the Knights of the Round Table own black people. I hate to say it, Medical, but it's true. And going back before we get further into this. So then, I didn't need to get off the copyright and all the fires in the Vatican, but it all interconnects back to the Boule, who are the protectors of the global conspiracy of viruses, assassinations, coup d'etats. They protect their owners. And so that the Boule are the caretakers of the 1%. Okay? And they only occupy the lower level of the Greek parliament today. They are the protectors who were selected by the Luciferian oligarchs. They are chosen by the Rothschilds, by the Rockefellers, the Wolvers, the Planters, they are chosen, okay, to protect the system. And so then, as Boules, they are selected by the Luciferian black nobility. Now, also the Boules of the black nobility with their black community. Now, black nobility means they are the upper class, what we call the black bourgeoisie elements of America. The 1/10, as described by John D. Rockefeller through W.E.B. Du Bois. So then Barack Obama was not elected. Barack Obama was selected. And that term selected comes from the Greek word sortition, S-O-R-T-I-T-I-O-N, selected. Now, you can understand, oh man of God, you got me so excited. So there's another Boule word that comes from a Hellenistic word, bula, or bulu, capital B-O-L-U. Now, bulu, it means Black Friday. Oh my God, Black Friday. Now, Black Friday goes back into slavery. That every year, the day after Thanksgiving, slaves were sold at a discounted price.
Really?
Yes. So Bolu, capital B-O-L-U, means Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, where slaves were sold at a discounted price.
Wow.
And so many of the banks that we had on Wall Street were the practitioners, the progenitors. They were the ones that instituted slavery. They were not Republicans. They were people from the left. The KKK was not created by the Republican Party. It was created by the Democratic Party. And I'm going to give you another revelation that's going to blow your mind before we get back to the Boule Secret Society and this Black Friday conspiracy. My friend, white people did not create the KKK. I got everyone's attention now. The KKK was not created by white people. The KKK was created by a man by the name of Judah P. Benjamin, along with his subordinate, Albert Pike. Judah P. Benjamin was a Zionist, a Khazarian, who was the Secretary of State in war for the Confederacy during the Civil War.
So Pike was just the face of it used for?
Yes. Pike was just the face of it, just like Jay-Z and you know, was it Denzel Washington and Michael Jordan? So then Pike was just the face of the Klan, but he did not create the Klan. So Rothschild Khazarians created the Ku Klux Klan.
Wow.
It was not what, see, this is a lie that's been perpetuated by the Democrats since 1865. So 1865, and keep a mental paperclip, what we're talking about today, the Boule Secret Society, who are the black gatekeepers of a global Luciferian system. So when we go back between 1861 to 1865, the Civil War. Now, the Civil War was fought not because of slavery, okay? The Civil War was fought because of land. The land that was in the South had a lot of oil, but also it was fought so that the North can reconstruct the South to become a union. So black slaves were put on the front line to be prophetical Boules. In other words, they were the Boules before the Boules came into existence in 1904. Blacks who were enslaved in the South were put on the front lines to protect who? The Malcolmites of the South. So in other words, when we talk about North and South, it's one state that has two hands. You got North and you got the South. That's why I thank God for Donald J. Trump. He was not supported by the right Republican nor by the left Democrat. So God has raised and anointed Donald J. Trump to be the Cyrus, Isaiah 45. Trump is the 45th president of the United States of America. He's also a type of a Jehu in 1 Kings, capital Jehu, the one who had destroyed Jezebel. And now Jezebel, Nancy the Ripper Pelosi, is going to be destroyed. So then God has anointed a man of God, Donald J. Trump, to destroy this python in America that has two heads, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, in order to bring back God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Lord Jesus Christ, to America. Oh, man, this is some heavy stuff.
Yeah, it's all the politics stuff. I diverse in politics. Yeah, I have some connected to the justice, the Zionists. Yeah. So I go a different way with that. And still control the hierarchy. I don't. I diverse. I don't consider it the same. You know.
As a minister, he's not perfect, you know, and to everyone out there who are listening, Donald J. Trump is not perfect, but the reason why they want to bring him down because he's exposing this to his snake. But getting back to the blue lace here. Now, this is interesting. It comes at any time in the Pacific. The blue lace select being what called archons, right? Capital ARCHONS. That's a Latin word meaning demon. So within the Byzantine Empire, every warlock who is a male witch was called archons. So Barack Obama is an archon. You know, Eric Holder, every black person of the black nobility is a archon. Okay. Now the women are the archeists. They are the female priestess of the female demons, okay? So then Boules are called strategists. So they are the black gatekeepers of the Baphomet system. Now, it's very interesting, man of God. If I could just break this down further, that the term Boule and Archon, the male initiates means demon, and Arceus is the female initiates into the Boule. Now, the term Archon is interconnected to the Greek word abraxas, capital Abraxas, which means abracadabra. Again, let me break this down again. So the high-ranking Bouleus male is called Archon, which is interconnected to the Greek word abraxas, which means abracadabra. And that term abracadabra means, getting back to the altered state, like Kobe Bryant, that altered state of demonic consciousness. So then, as we're breaking down through meticulous scholarship today, men of God, the secret society, gatekeepers of the Luciferian system, and this term abracadabra connected to Archon in Boule on the coin of the abracadabra system that's connected to the Templite secret society from Alessa Crawley, the secrets of the temple.
Okay.
It has a half male, half fish, or half female, half fish. That's the insignia on the Starbucks coffee cup.
Yeah, right. The siren.
Yes. So then in 1941, there was a Boule convention in Los Angeles at the Greek Amphitheater, Greek now, at Griffith Park. Now, Griffith Park was donated, I believe, around 3,000 acres, right? Going back, I believe, in the 1930s by a man by the name of Griffith J. Griffith, who was a part of a secret society called the Odd Fellows. Griffith J. Griffith, who was a 30th degree Mason within the secret English order of the Odd Fellows, that's out of England, which is an offshoot of the Scottish Rite Order.
So they brought in this land where the convention, my friend, of the Boules take place. Now, who oversaw this convention? Dr. Emmett Scott. Dr. Emmett Scott was an assistant to Booker T. Washington of the Tuskegee Institute. Now, remember the syphilis conspiracy, right, of the Tuskegee University syphilis conspiracy. So then Dr. Emmett Scott, along with Dr. Robert Moulton, wanted to create a syphilis contamination of 600 black men and women to see how the anatomy of black people would respond. Wait a minute now, why would these two black boys inject their own people? We talked about the coronavirus, but a disease to see how the anatomy of black people would respond.
In other words, the Boules not only protect the system, but they also protect the system by murdering their own people. Okay? So Dr. Emmett Scott, Dr. Robert Moulton was against Booker T. Washington. Why? Because Booker T. Washington in 1914 was against the conspiracy to bring about the testing of black men and women with syphilis to see how the anatomy of black people will respond. But you see, man of God, at the time, Booker T. Washington did not know that Dr. Emmett Scott Boule and Dr. Robert Moulton Boule was secretly working with President Woodrow Wilson. That in 1915, Booker T. Washington ends up dead. And during his autopsy, there were traces, massive traces, right, of syphilis in his body. Wait a minute now, how did Booker T. Washington get that? Very interesting. So the Boule Secret Society, they are the black gatekeepers of the Luciferian global Illuminati system. So that the syphilis conspiracy lasted for 40 years, from 1932 to 1972. The question is, who subsidized the syphilis conspiracy? A man by the name of Julius Rosenwald, who was the creator and the founder of the Sears Roebuck Company. Julius Rosenwald gave $5 million to the Tuskegee Institute by lying to Booker T. Washington and said, I want this money to be used for education. Booker T. Washington trusted Dr. M.S. Scott and Dr. Robert Moulton to oversee the financial distribution of the money, but they used it to take out their mentor through a syphilis conspiracy and thereby to help the U.S. government, all right? Woodrow Wilson really to genocide Black people. I guarantee you a lot of your listeners, they have never heard of this before. And so examine the book Tuskegee's Truths, Rethinking the Tuskegee Syphilis Study. So anytime you got any questions, just jump right in, man of God. So
they don't infect us with man-made diseases. They don't deliberately do that, do they? They don't do that for one person, do they?
Mm-mm.
No.
See, and so you're going back to, and this is another topic for another day, the crack cocaine industry and also and AIDS, whatnot. So they don't do that. So the Boule Secret Society, they also assigned a Black Scientologist by the name of Saga. Now, in January 2020, she was and still is a state senator, a state legislator for the state of Georgia. She is a Boule protector of the Church of Scientology. And so she was chosen by the lieutenant governor of the state of Georgia, Governor Jeff Duncan, Jeff capital G-E-O-F-F Duncan, to be a part of a 24-member commission in order to remove, get this, the American Psychiatric Association and the American Psychological Association, a government oversight of the state of Georgia in order to Church of Scientology to do what? To do the scientific arts of clearing. That's another topic for another day. So what I'm saying, man of God, that the Boules are assigned to protect the system who hates them. Allow me to go a little bit further. I don't know if you heard of this African American in history, Dr. Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Now, Dr. Garvey, is the father of the Garveyites. Dr. Mosiah Garvey was a Jamaican of African-centric origin who was born in Kingston, Jamaica, came to New York City, right, in the 1900s, and set up the United Negro Improvement Association. Now, at the time in the late 1900s, in the early, the late 1900s, right, in the early 1920s, Marcus Garvey was a threat to the order of the structured order of the United States government. Marcus Garvey, so you can just type him up. Marcus Garvey, who created the UNIA, the United Negro Improvement Association, had 1 million members around the world, man of God. Now, this was before the advent of television and before the advent of the internet. So Marcus Garvey, okay, a man from St. Ann's Bay, Jamaica, came to the United States in the late 1900s, going into the early part of the 1920s, took over Black America. He was a threat. Why was he a threat? Because he was teaching Black people to be self-sustained, self-independent, okay? Marcus Garvey also traveled to Greenwood, Oklahoma in 1920. I was on a talk show, a podcast recently, a couple of weeks ago, on the Tinfoil Hat podcast out of Los Angeles, where I talked about the history of Black Wall Street, how Black Wall Street had a section called Millionaires Row, and then we still had a mental paperclip to the Black Boule Secret Society, as we're talking about the gatekeepers, right? So Marcus
traveled to Black Wall Street in 1920. There were 14 billionaires in Black Wall Street. There were millionaire bankers and doctors and dentists. There was a company that owned private jets. Why Black people in 1920? And we know that what happened the following year was decimated because of the bomb. Now, let's get back to Garvey now. Marcus Garvey was neutralized by the United States government. Why? Because he was afraid. He was teaching black people, don't depend on the system. Depend on God. Right? There's a lot of teachers about Garvey. I disagree with that point back to Africa. I don't subscribe to that, Brother Jim. But what I'm saying, Marcus Garvey, he created the United Negro Improvement Association, which had a membership of over 1 million people. All right? Now, between 1922 and 23, the Blue Sicker Society, Dr. King Minton, and Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois was instructed by J. Edgar Hoover, who was the director of the Bureau of Investigation, which later became the Federal Bureau of Investigation in 1935. So the government used the Blue Rays to neutralize Dr. Marcus Garvey by putting out a lie, right, that he was stealing money, he was embezzling money, which was not true. And they put out a lie that he was connected and talked to the Ku Klux Klan. All right, so then that was a lie. Who put out that lie? Okay, the Boule Secret Society. Who? A. Philip Randolph, E. W. Du Bois, Henry Minton. They're being used to destroy their own people. Why? Because the Boulets were teaching black people to depend on the system. And Brother Jim, I'm not teaching black and white here today. What I'm dissecting for your listeners is a unknown secret society that's been in existence since 1904. So the Boulets had neutralized Marcus Garvey by putting out lies that he was embezzling money. Okay, Marcus Garvey had ships, that Black Star Line ships, but they were lying on Garvey, stating that he was embezzling money from the people and that he was connected to the KKK, which was a lie. So Garvey went to prison, and then he was deported in November 1927. Why? Because of the Boule Secret Society, a part of the Pan-Hellenic Divine Nine. Okay, they were designed to neutralize Marcus Garvey. Now, when Marcus Garvey went to court, all right, in the late 1920s, he went to court. Judge that oversaw the case was a man by the name of Julian Max. I believe M-A-C-K. His next word was very cute. I'm thinking, I'm just a minute, I'm just breaking this down to let you know how deep this Boule secret society goes. So then, Judge Julian Max, whose parents were very Jews, Julian Max was a conservative Jew and a part of the New York City of the neighborhood. If you understand what I'm saying, brother, the neighborhood of the anti-information.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so then Julian Mack, who oversaw the case that convicted through lies, okay, by the government through the Boulets about Garvey stealing money, okay, and being connected to the KKK, he was sent to prison for a few years and deported. Julian Mack, my friend, we're still talking about the Black Boule Secret Society.
Anti-Semitism is on the rise in the U.S. And in fact, according to the Anti-Defamation League, a record number of anti-Semitic incidents occurred in the country last year. Some of the latest high-profile incidents are reignited.
Come on, man. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. My bad. Hold on. Let me put that back on. Tripping.
A conversation about how to stop them. Entertainer Nick Cannon and NFL wide receiver Deshaun Jackson apologized after being criticized for making anti.
Oh, man.
Anti-Semitic comments, and both said they would learn more about Jewish culture history.
Wholeheartedly say I know Kyrie Irving is not anti-Semitic. The same buck break.
What's that? I don't really know what that means, to be perfectly honest.
The slave masters would bring the buck, the one that gets out of line. So all the other slaves would see lash after lash, show them the power to set an example. This is what you must do to fall in line. So when we see the 6 things that Kyrie must do to get his job back, right?
Yeah, it's tripping. You know?
That's dehumanizing.
We'll be able to do this one. Yeah. Look at that. 170 celebrity executives to launch new Black Jewish Entertainment Alliance. It would host programs to highlight their common mission to fight hate and facilitate collaborative efforts.
Anti-Semitic
yeah, it's buffering hard, y'all.
tweets were condemned by the Black Jewish Entertainment Alliance. Just
come on. Yes.
Say Lenny.
In Hebrew, they call it, teshuvah. The process of not only, repenting, but through that, if you're ever met with a similar situation and that you make a different decision, that goes beyond apologizing. And I'm on this journey of atonement because it's the right thing to do.
And Negro, mulatto, Khazar supremacists is dangerous. Why? Because they blend in like trees in the forest. Until the swing of the axe.
I just don't want to get too comfortable. Brothers can't afford to get too comfortable, because that's when you become the pawn. That's when they use you as. Anytime white people want to smooth some shit over, they go get that rich nigga and put you on TV to represent the people. You have you asking you questions like, Damon.
Yeah, man, let's stop this.
Now that you made this $13 million, and we're not counting. Now that you made all this money, let me ask you this. Let me just throw this out at you. You respond any way you want. Is there racism in America? You be sitting there thinking about that paycheck. Talking about, no, sir. If there is, I ain't seen none.
All right, man. I gotta get up out of here. With that being said, man, hold up.
If you're currently speaking up and speaking out against the anti-Semitism and the hatred of our Jewish brothers and sisters, then you are part of the problem. You see, justice will not be served until those that are unaffected are as outraged as those that are affected. So though you and I may not be affected right now, boy, we better be outraged.
We all know the championships are overwhelmingly won by those who display teamwork and togetherness. But there is a serious threat to that principle today with the frightening rise in
All right. Yeah, we're going to end this, man, because we having technical difficulties, but I guess y'all kind of get the picture.
Anti-Semitism, in particular, hate in general. We're seeing that contagion, not just in sports, but music, politics, and across society. Folks, hate is a disease. It is a virus that spreads and kills. And I pray fervently that those with hearts of teamwork, togetherness, and love will speak more loudly and persuasively to prevail against this viciousness.
I gotta make a run real quick. I'm gonna let it play, man.
The Black and Jewish
I'll be right back.
These are two communities that have had the world of media work against them quite a bit. Two communities that have suffered the really negative portrayals of our two groups. And I think that part of it is really understanding how we got to where we are, right? And the possibilities of understanding where we can go if we work together.
Kyrie put out propaganda is considered anti-Semitic because it is, takes it down. Now they're protesting him. What do you make of the situation?
I think what you said is pretty spot on. I have said about Kanye and not about Kyrie that there are really two issues here, Chris. There's the issue of mental unwellness, and there's the issue of anti-Semitism. And frankly, in our society, don't take either one of those issues seriously enough. I don't think it's either or, but both and. It seems to me that when you're talking about Kanye, for example, there's a bipolar issue here. And we see him acting out publicly. We see him having an episode publicly. We're just days away now from the 50th anniversary of his mother's tragic passing. And if you know anything about bipolar disorder, these triggering events oftentimes bring these things on. And so I can't speak. I'm not a physician, and Kyrie is certainly not my patient. Kanye, not my patient.
What's this headline that I see? LeBron doesn't stand with Kyrie. I believe what he did hurt a lot of people. Can't condone any kind of hate, which lead to this visual and ambiguous plan. LeBron holding the hand of this mysterious man at a Jewish wedding. So I researched that guy to find out he's an ex-con rabbi and this legit deceitful. Hard to stand with Kyrie when you're sitting with the people.
I can tell you this. It's simple. Me personally, I don't condone any hate to any kind, to any race, to Jewish communities, to Black communities, to Asian communities. You guys know where I stand. It's part of the reason why I didn't air the shop episode when we kicked that, out of the archives, because it's hate conversation going on there, and I would represent that. There's no place in the world for it. Nobody can benefit from that. And Kyrie did cause some harm to a lot of people.
I think it looks beautiful, us coming together, forming alliances. Definitely, we need to come together as a whole, stop being so divisive, especially in America. America is really divisive. But if we come together, these alliances will be beautiful. Be more beautiful kids coming around in the world. It'll be beautiful relationships as far as businesses going on. And I think the world will be a better place.
My initial reaction was, what I've noticed throughout the years of Kyrie is that he's a guy who's really trying to find his identity, right? He's on this quest of searching for information and knowledge, and while acquiring this type of information, you got to be more mindful of doing more research, checking your sources, reviewing before you actually, promote anything. Right, exactly. And I think that's something that Kyrie's probably lacking right now, is that he's not really doing the full vetting of what he's promoting. And I think that's getting him into trouble.
Of where these come from and understanding that this is an African heritage that is also belonging to the people. Africa is in it, whether we want to dismiss it or not. So
regardless if my brother's saying, African this, I'm still going to stand aside. But once again, like I said, there's nothing wrong with working with Jews, because it's not all of them that stand against certain things that we would like to get done. So I wouldn't turn my nose up to that, because you can't put everything on everybody. It's not certain. Okay, for example, my agenda might not be your agenda. You see what I'm saying? So you can't say just because my agenda is my agenda that all of the people that follow me agree with my agenda. We gotta belittle his name, y'all. Say one of his family members white. No. Say he married to a white woman. Like, that's gonna bring down my credibility somehow. Even if I'm talking about, even if that was true, how would that bring my credibility down?
It would be best to get with a female who is mixed with a black father and a white mother. That's the ideal one to get with, if you're going to get with one. Oh, no, you didn't. It would be best to get with a female who is mixed with a black father and a white mother. That's the ideal one to get with, if you're going to get with one.
Black Americans, man, they're all descended from slaves in America.
Family from different countries, or
no.
Have you ever done your ancestry before?
I have, yeah. All my family, the foundational Black Americans, man, they're all descended from slaves in America. Okay. Everybody in the family. My DNA is in Asia, Europe, Africa. It's all over the damn place. All my family, the foundational Black, all descended from slaves in America. Okay. Everybody in the family. My wife is mixed. My wife's mother is white. So, yeah, my wife is a black woman. Don't say that loud. Yeah, my wife's a black woman. Her mother is white. And to the censuses, 1870, or even before that here in America, you want to trace the paperwork back, because everybody's genetics is going to go somewhere to Africa, is going to go to Europe, is going to go to Asia.
Proud grandmother of Jesse and his siblings, I felt compelled to come and tell you that the Jesse I know and love does not match up with the media's betrayal of him. And I'm talking to you guys. You haven't done a good job on investigative reporting. I've worked on documentaries. I know what it is. I've gone through the McCarthy period. I marched with Martin Luther King and marched on Washington, and I'm here now.
The whole world must see that Israel must exist and has a right to exist, and is one of the great outposts of democracy in the world.
My Jewish brothers and sisters said to me amid anti-Semitism anywhere, we don't need your support. I would still take a stand against anti-Semitism because it's wrong, it's unjust, and it's evil.
And so you got to do better. I challenge you to do more investigative reporting. Jesse himself, as you have heard from the testimonials, is a very gentle, kind, and generous young man, and his empathy is infinite, which translates in giving of himself. Jesse has always been active in the pressing issues facing our communities, such as HIV, AIDS, voting rights, and other urgent social problems in America.
And when you have people who are in leadership positions who promote or ignore over-the-top rhetoric, and then when there's an attack like this, they make light of it, they joke about it, then more people are going to get hurt. And more than that, we violate the basic spirit of our democracy, the spirit of who we are as Americans. And by the way, it's not just politicians, whether it's out of malice or ignorance. We've seen recently big celebrities reposting vile anti-Semitic conspiracy theories online. And you don't have to be a student of history to understand how dangerous that is and how unacceptable it is. And I don't know when we decided that we were just going to believe everything we read on the internet. Here's a tip for you. If you read or see something online that has some grand theory about how some particular group, whether it's black folks or white folks or Jews or Catholics or immigrants or gays, if you read or see something that says they're the cause of all your problems, then it's safe to say it is garbage. It is a lie. It is dangerous poison. We've got to call it out and put an end to that kind of mindset.
The togetherness and the bridges that we can build with this alliance, this is really what the alliance should be about in every community we can reach.
But at the end, Kyrie Irving is a superstar athlete who decided to do what he did in terms of promoting and pushing it. He says he didn't promote, but when you put it on your platform, and you're talking about, it's the truth, well, then evidently that's how you feel and you weren't promoting it. So he's talking out of both sides of his mouth there. Having said all of that, here's what it comes down to when we look at the Nets situation. The Nets have handled Kyrie badly from day one because what they did was they allowed him to come into the organization and basically say you could do what you want to do.
The NBA Association, which painted the floors with Black Lives Matter, right? And even though Black Lives Matter was leading to looting and rioting and people were dying in these BLM loots and riots, they still stood by and said, this is totally fine because Black people have to be able to express themselves. So obviously, reading the statement, he must have really tripped of wrongness that is worthy of this suspension. Then I actually listened to Kyrie Irving in his words, and I could not believe that the Nets had the ability to say that he was unfit to associate with them based on these words.
The game that we used to love and we promote, it brings people together. And it hurts me sometimes when we have to sit up here to talk about stuff that divides the game. Now we got to answer for what this idiot has done. I stand for equality of all people. I've always been like that. Don't matter what religion, no matter where you're from. I can say shalom, salam alaikum, ni hao, say bon, because that's how I was raised. So I don't really want to sit up here and answer questions for what he's done. If you look at him to make people happy, I can't speak for him and answer for what he's doing. It's obviously his answers and the way he answers. He doesn't really care.
It's important to underscore, first and foremost, the absurdity of the media, the way that they're behaving in that press conference. They're essentially approaching him, pretending that every single word of the documentary that Kyrie Irving did not make, he has to answer for. Could you imagine a world in which everything you watch, right, you are somehow now responsible for every single word within it? Notably absent, by the way, is the press going up to Jeff Bezos, who is the owner of Amazon, who runs Amazon.
Shakur told, man, hope everybody had a good Shabbat. Let me tackle this topic that I discovered, man. Kanye tweeted something about me as if I'm turning my back on the community, as if I'm advising Kyrie to apologize for being a Hebrew Israelite. I would never ask Kyrie to apologize for being an Israelite. Are you kidding me? I dedicated about 20 plus years of my life on researching and learning who we are as a people. You understand me? And why would I advise my brother to say, hey, apologize for saying you were Hebrew? Only thing he had apologized for is the little portion that's inside the video that's hurtful to the Jewish people. And as an Israelite, it's our job to be a holy nation, so we understand that. So come on, man. Don't try this here. You already know me. Y'all know me. Y'all seen what I've been learning over the years. Y'all follow my path. I would never advise someone to apologize for being an Israelite. You used to know this, man. You know me. I'll let you, right? Peace.
Holding hands secretly is just chill. Without saying much, this is real, dangerous. Can't ignore the suspicious. I mean, you don't find that suspicious? Not one bit crazy, Okay, wait this far. Remember the slogan that Kev say? Say it with your chest. our chest say. Presume I'm saying. Symbolization of the Boo Foundation. Sigma Pi Phi, now it's getting deeper. Black secret society of elites. They taking us for a ride. We worrying about the playoffs, getting played off to the side. And if I'm wrong, help me understand this. Cause right now, I ain't got the answers. Can't sway away for 1 second. Nah, this is one of my favorite legends. Hope it's a mistake. I ain't been as disappointed since finding out wrestling was fake. We don't stick together, then this begin. And divide and conquer wins again.
Now, aside from divide and conquer, there's infiltration. Now, here's Craig David, and there is Ellis Ross. Now, these two are separate blood. Ancestry, whether people like it or not, always life in our culture and in agriculture.
Him, he spends time with her, he comes and visit, you know, we meet up every month and we have a great relationship with him.
However, other nations place emphasis on the maternal.
As property, women were revered, women had control. Instead of lineage being passed down from father to son, etc., it was passed down from mother to daughter, etc. That's what matrilineal means.
Elvis Presley, a full-blooded great-great-great-grandmother named Morning White Dove, links Elvis Presley to the Cherokee tribe. Did you know that the singer Cher is actually half Jewish and half Cherokee? She had a song called Half-Breed. The lyrics were like this: my father married a pure Cherokee. My mother's people were ashamed of me.
In the Bible, genealogies are stated mostly in terms of fathers and sons. Yet in speaking to contemporary Jews, I'm told that the determination of whether one is a Jew or not depends upon the mother's lineage and faith. Is that the biblical standard, or was that changed over time?
Growing up Black and Jewish for me was quite difficult. I actually had a lot of racism from both sides. So my mother is Jewish, and her family were not very accepting of a Black child. So I immediately was born into extreme racism, and I have like a crazy life. I didn't even meet my grandparents till I was 10 years old on my grandfather's deathbed of cancer, where he apologized.
A little insight into Black and Jewish American history. Pro tip: the same people who don't like Black people don't like Jews. Check any major city in America. The Orthodox Jewish area is never too far from the hood, with very few exceptions. Park Heights in Baltimore, Philly, Columbus, Crown Heights in Brooklyn. The same people who didn't want colored people in their neighborhoods during times of segregation also didn't want Jews. Black people had to have a green book for travelers to make sure that they didn't experience discrimination while traveling. There was a similar law for Jews. Historically, in 19th and 20th century America, we've been largely in the same boat. Why do you think there are so many black Jews?
So I think these are the different factors to come together. The Black Jewish Entertainment Alliance aims to combat racism and anti-Semitism through open dialogue and education.
It's not that simple. And yeah, I never looked at it as overcoming anything. I was just like, man, I just got to be a good rapper. But to a lot of other people, they were like, wait, what? You're Canadian, you're Jewish. It's just like mind blowing things.
But like I said, yeah, I don't think that, it wasn't like on my mixtape cover, it just said like the new Canadian half black Jewish. Like it wasn't like advertised. So people had to,
My mom is white Jewish woman, and my father is African American. His family's Christian, and we grew up at a time when that was a really big deal. It was not heard of too much, and I came of age, in a predominantly African American community. But for my parents, none of this stuff seemed to be an obstacle for them. I think they put a lot of emphasis in making sure that we were really confident young people.
What race is Lauren London? Early life. London was born in Los Angeles County, California, on December 5, 1984, to an African American mother and a Jewish father.
Bless. Alright. What's up, man?
Everything good, Looking forward to coming to Israel,
We know that you are married to an Israeli woman, Orly. Does it make you more interested in our region? In what's happening in Israel?
It's a great sense of humor. My dad is very special. Worry.
I don't like to say it, but you understand. When my parents split, my mother sat I already knew, but she went in this conversation. And then she
And I was a young 21. I was a young 21. I don't think I realized what that moment did until so many years later.
What did it do you then?
It put something in me. It was just bizarre. And I think the reason that he said that was because his father had done exactly the same thing.
I don't really consider it to be, biracial. We share the same faith. We're both coming from the same background, the same traditions. I think that transcends any color. Else.
It does. It transcends color.
But the essential function of being an intermediary between nations is obviously easier to fill among many nations, and also just the safety factor that when it's just one larger host population, it's easy for them to, God forbid, turn against us. But if there's a whole bunch of different populations together, they have to fight unity amongst each other to turn against us. So to me, that just seems pretty straight logic. I was surprised.
Hey guys, it's Billy here in Midtown Manhattan with the beautiful and talented Rashida Jones. Rashida is on horse recreation, but that has nothing to do with the fact that we're about to play my new favorite game, Whistle Blow That Jew. How are you, Rashida? Great. Whistle Blow That Jew? Never been more excited. Hey, here's how Whistle Blow That Jew works. I'm going to run down a list of celebrities and what may be their original, more Jewish-sounding birth name. If you think what I'm saying is not true and they didn't change their name, say not that name. If you think what I'm saying is true and they changed their name from a more Jewish-sounding name, say full of shame. Not that name or full of shame. You understand? I understand. Hey, you got to write you in the big eyes. All right, are you ready? All right, if you're ready, now it's time to play Whistle Blow That Jew. Here we go. Not that name or full of shame. And away we go. John Stewart was John.
Full of shame?
Yes, correct. David Schwimmer was Jacob Snailman.
Not that name.
Correct. Natalie Portman was Natalie Hirschlag.
Shame.
Yep, full of shame, Natalie. Yep. Will.i.am was Zach Steinberg.
Never that name.
Yes, correct. Kat Dennings was Catherine Lipbach.
Oh, full of shame.
Yes, correct. Kat Dennings, you're full of shame. Okay, Paula Abdul was...
I went there with Dr. Witt and Michael Lerner. You were there, right? The discussion was what? Blacks and Jews, right? I have repeatedly said, and I'll say it before the Supreme Court, anywhere else. Once you do that, you put that on the board and say that you're going to have an intelligent conversation. You just said something false. It can't be done by anybody, by the greatest brains in the world. It's impossible to say blacks and Jews and then continue to talk and say that you're going to have a very, very revealing conversation. So I said, my statement is, I have often heard the term black people and Jews. I have never heard the term black people and Christians as a subject matter. Would anybody care to explain why that is? Dr. Carnell West said, oh, wow. Oh, well, I have to think about that. So then I looked at Dr. Lerner. I said, would you care to answer, sir? He said, I pass. Those two words. I said, thank you very much. And then I went over and told you all, I said, what happened was exactly what the code says will happen. See, you set up a scenario that can absolutely go nowhere. See, because as far as I'm concerned, it's still in proof. See, it might be somebody who can prove me wrong. That might be some scholar from Oxford that can walk in here and say, Fuller, you said that it's impossible to have an intelligent conversation with that kind of title. I'm going to show you that you didn't tell the truth and you haven't been telling people the truth. And I'll just let him unwind. I haven't seen nobody yet. I haven't seen nobody yet that could do it. Because I still say it's impossible to do. It can't be done. You won't know what you're talking about. You will talk. You will sound like, you people are talking about all that. You'll be all over the place. But you will get up out of there and they will be groggy. I'll tell you, when everybody that night, everybody left there, what was that about? Yeah. But see, he hadn't even thought of it, but he's the guy making the presentation for nowhere. It's well noted. And I would say that black, white, and Semite means a lot. And instead of saying Semite, they throw in religion because Semites are the United States as a people. They have they're white. The legal code for the United States says they are not white. Mm-hmm. Now that has presented this for years, and I haven't seen anybody take it. But see, the way I do it, by simply saying, "Are you black?" Yeah.
I believe in free speech. I believe, as you said earlier, people have a right to express themselves, even to say things that we would not necessarily agree with. Having said that, I do think there's a line here, and I don't think you can malign people in the way that some of these comments have maligned people and not expect there to be some pushback.
What is the line of where pushback is appropriate? Is it completely subjective, or do you think there should be some standards? Is it right for Ye to lose his endorsements? It's certainly legal, right? They're companies. They got the right to see what they want their brand to be about or not. What if the Nets get rid of Kyrie Irving because I've never seen people at an NBA game protesting a player as an anti-Semite before.
Yep. Well, the Nets are a privately owned operation, and the owner of that team has the right to do pretty much whatever he wants with his team. And if he thinks that behavior is adverse to the goals and dreams and aspirations of his team, whether we like it or not, he has a right to get rid of Kanye and to trade him someplace or to fire him, terminate him. That's his call. It's a privately held institution. In many ways, that's the way our country works. But to Kanye, you said something, hit on something, Chris, that I think we need to kind of unpack for a second. I said the other day on my program that I think corporate America missed a huge opportunity here to do three things. Number one, I believe that what they should have said, and I'm talking about Adidas and all the other companies that have now walked away from Kanye. We see again, clearly he's having an episode. We know he's openly struggled with bipolar disorder. I can't imagine that they would do what they've done to any of the other employees, do to their employees rather what they've done to Kanye. That is to say, that if you have an employee struggling with a particular issue, as a corporation that's responsible, you get that employee the help that they need.
My best friend in high school, he was a Jewish kid. I was black, he was Jewish. We were both at a Catholic school, But we really bonded in a certain way. It was allyship through just being thrown together. It wasn't political, it wasn't that. It was just natural, Honestly, did not understand what anti-Semitism was. And it was through my friendship that I came to understand what that was and dove into it, I chose a life of showbiz doing stand-up comedy. And it's funny, I was as influenced by what I'll call Jewish comedy as I was by what I'll call black comedy.
Pastor Lyndon Allen, president of Total Life Victory Ministries, gives a historical perspective of this rather tenuous relationship.
You look at a nation like Israel, they're like a postage stamp. Many people don't even realize that W.E.B. Du Bois did not start the NAACP by himself. With prominent Jewish Americans alongside him, seeing this movement with the Spitgar family, Joseph, professor of the University, artist, activist of the day, and another Jewish man, Henry Moskowitz. Now, he was a Jewish activist.
and they birthed it around the anniversary of that. Nonetheless, very much with that kind of history, that in served